You know the Great Resignation? It is official. New data out today by the Labor Department says more than 47 million Americans quit their jobs in 2021. That is a record. That is the highest that number has been since keeping track of this whole number in the year 2000, right? So 22 years here. You, if you're watching this, maybe you're one of the people who was part of the Great Resignation. To put that number in perspective, in 2019, about 42 million people quit their jobs in this country. But some businesses you may know, Publix grocery stores, Clif Bar, they've got a strategy for trying to keep employees in the midst of all this historic turnover. Wait till you hear what it is. NBC News' senior consumer investigative correspondent Vicky Nguyen is here to explain.
Michael Aiken works for Johnny's Pizza House in Shreveport, Louisiana. He started as a high school junior in 2008, but after a few years, Michael received a statement on top of his normal paycheck confirming he owned a piece of the company.
And I saw that, oh, such and such amount of stock, and this is your cash value amount of your account. It was, oh, wow, I'm a part of something that's bigger than me, and I can watch something grow.
So how did it happen? Johnny's offers an ESOP, or Employee Stock Ownership Plan. Workers get a slice of the company after 3 years on the job. They can cash out when they leave Johnny's or save until retirement. Michael has now been there for 13 years. He trains employees and helps open new restaurants.
Well, how much of this ownership program played a role in you being there for so many years?
Well, I would say it played a definite role in it. More of your heart goes into your work because you see that statement.
There are 6,500 employee-owned companies in the U.S., names you'd recognize. Clif Bar with just over 1,000 employees. W.L. Gore, they make Gore-Tex fabric with over 11,000 workers. The nation's largest ESOP, Florida-based Publix grocery stores with 225,000 employees.
Employee-owned businesses tend to have lower turnover and more loyal employees.
Joseph Blasi is a Rutgers professor specializing in employee ownership. A recent report shows these companies fared much better than non-employee-owned companies over the past 2 years. They retained workers at a rate of 4 to 1. Another study found employees at ESOPs had twice the amount of money in their retirement accounts, $132,000 on average.
Most ESOP companies also share cash profits every year with employees, typically in excess of 10% on top of wages.
According to Blasi, if you want to work for an ESOP, expect to be more involved in corporate matters and also share more business-related information with coworkers. And it takes commitment. Maximum wealth comes at retirement.
Some employees, especially in ESOPs, if they're younger, they don't want to wait until retirement to get that big wealth nest egg.
At Johnny's Pizza House, Michael's nest egg has been growing since 2008. The company's CEO tells NBC News multiple employees have retired, cashing out more than $1 million.
People might say, but you work at a pizza restaurant. How is this possible?
It's definitely possible as long as you're taking care of whoever comes through the door and taking care of the things in your four walls and you're making sure your customers are taken care of and coming back. I mean, it's going to work.
Vicky joins us now live. Vicky, thank you so much for bringing us this story. It's fascinating. I know a lot of people who might shop at Publix down in Florida or who might eat Clif Bars who didn't know, hey, I didn't realize these were ESOPs. Are there specific types of businesses that typically make this kind of move?
Hey, Hallie, yeah, most of the time these are family-owned businesses, and at some point the owner says, you know what, it's time for me to get out. But they don't want to close it down, they don't want to sell it to a corporation, so they say, you know what, let's form one of these plans and sell it back to our employees who worked so hard to help build our success.
What kinds of questions, let's say you do want to work for one of these employee-owned companies and you're going to take a job with them, what should you be asking about as an employee?
Hallie, every business is different, but you definitely want to ask, when am I fully vested? Is there a minimum age for me to enroll? And just remember, they're a little bit like 401ks, so if you leave early, there can be tax implications.
Are people able to search if they specifically want to work for a company like this, where they are invested in the company's success? How do you find those kinds of jobs?
Well, right now in 18 states and the District of Columbia, where you are, Hallie, there are these things called Employee Ownership Resource Centers, so you can search for those and see what's available where you live.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.